for centuries, we have been ruled by the Russian nobility and monarchy. But recently, because of our government's failures in World War I, we were able to coup the government and establish Soviet Russia. We were still at war with Germany, though, and this caused a great debate as many people wanted to go with peace with Germany, but many people also wanted to continue the war. But with various anti communist White Russian forces gathering, Lenin knew that it was time to start peace talks with the Germans. So eventually, after great territorial losses, we were able to establish peace with the German Empire. And that was just in time, too, as few days later, we got news of the White Russians capturing the Trans-Siberian Railway, giving them control of almost all Siberia. Another bad thing that happened was that most of our officers defected to the White Russian side, making our army very bad. And we were not even able to recruit real soldiers, only civilian militias. But we do have one advantage, and that is the industrial heartland of Russia lies with us. So we have significantly more military factories. But just then, something very unexpected happened, as in an attempt to take out the leadership, a White Russian spy shot Lenin in the middle of his speech. But thankfully, Lenin was able to survive. This made us realize that all throughout our nation, there are many anti-revolutionaries. So we soon formed the Czechoslovakia Police. And they were immediately shown their usefulness, as soon after they were able to suppress a peasant uprising. Because even though we started our communist revolution mainly for the peasants, we actually had very weak peasant support. And this was mainly because we mostly directed our food and grain to the soldiers fighting on the front line. So we actually had very little for the actual peasants and civilians. So that's why, even though we were still fighting in White Russia, we made plans to invade Ukraine, as they have one of the most fertile soil in the world, which is perfect for growing grain. And if we're able to capture it, we will be able to alleviate our famine. So a few days later, after finishing preparations, we started our own communist revolution in Ukraine and quickly moved our troops in to invade. And we did so at a prime time, as Poland was also invading Ukraine. So they barely had any soldiers on our border, and we were just able to walk to their major cities and capture them. So soon, they became our puppet, but we were forced to cede some Ukrainian lands to Poland. But that didn't really matter. We got most of the fertile land, so we were able to send grain back to the peasants and alleviate the famine in Russia. And we got some more good news, as in the Caucasus, after the capture of a prominent White Russian commander, the whole southern front collapsed. So now we were finally ready to invade our main enemy, White Russia. But just as we piled most of our soldiers on the border, Poland did something unexpected and invaded us. But we have a plan, as we're going to invade Poland through Latvia and Lithuania and hopefully catch them off guard.
Заправлены в планшеты космические карты, и штурман уточняет последний раз маршрут. Давайте-ка, ребята, споемте перед стартом, у нас еще в запасе 14 минут. Я верю, друзья, караваны ракет помчат нас вперед от звезды до звезды. На пыльных тропинках далеких планет останутся наши следы. На пыльных тропинках далеких планет останутся наши следы. Когда-нибудь с годами припомним мы с друзьями, как по дорогам звездным вели мы первый путь, как первыми сумели достичь заветной цели и на родную землю со стороны взглянуть. Я верю, друзья, караваны ракет помчат нас вперед от звезды до звезды. На пыльных тропинках далеких планет останутся наши следы.
Finally, we beat White Russia and reunified all of Russia. So, a few days later, we declared the Soviet Union. Thanks for watching my video. Please like, subscribe, and share with your family and friends.